Hello, this is RICKY, the Android guy. Hey guys, today I'm going to be going over the benchmark test for the Galaxy Note Edge. Now, first of all, when we start a benchmark test, we want to make sure to check out what it has inside. So for this, we're going to be using CPU-Z, which tells us that this is a Snapdragon 805 processor clocked in at 2.7 gigahertz, rounded up. And you are going to have a Adreno 420 graphics card built into it. On this side, we can see the screen resolution according to the phone, which is, of course, a 2K display or a Quad HD display, and 3 gigs of RAM that are being used. Only 551 megabytes. And so you see in the internal storage I've put a pretty good amount of games on there. That's why it's taking up a good amount of the storage. But overall, very high quality specs with Android 4.4.4 built in. So really overall very nice in terms of what it has built into it. And now let's check out the first one, which is CPU. So this one only checks out the processor, and then next we're going to check out the graphics, and then both. So let's start this one. See, pretty much making short work of the single and multi-core processor, but now with the maximum it does stress it a little bit more. And you can see the scores are pretty impressive. For the processor itself, it got a 7960. Which is right up there with, of course, the NVIDIA Shield, which has a K1 processor on there, and well above the G2 from last year, which had last year's best processor on there. So really good for 7690 for this processor, really does well. And it seems to be a little bit above, if I remember correctly, I think the Note 4 went around the 7,000 mark. So kind of seeing a trend with that, but we'll go into that a little bit later. Now, next we check out the graphics card. Graphics card is going to be, how good your gaming is, how good everything is going to look on your screen overall. So for this one, we've tested it out a couple of times, and in the extreme, it maxes out, which is to be expected. But in the unlimited, which is the highest form of testing out the graphics, really only for the best of the best, we have an outstanding score of 21,120. Now, what does that mean? Well, when we look at the highest ones, of course, they're Microsoft devices. The only one to ever get to 3,000 in Android was the NVIDIA Shield tablet, which again has the K1 processor. But in the 21 realm, which it got a 21,120. We can see it score above almost every single Android device out there. It does match with the Galaxy S5 4G Plus, and right underneath the iPad Air 2. For a phone, it outclasses pretty much every other Android, including the Note 4 itself, the Moto X. You can see the OnePlus One down there, the Sony Xperia Z3 Compact, Note 4, and the iPhones are somewhere down here. The iPhone 6 Plus is at a 17. So it really just outclasses everything else, pretty much most everything in Android. So, and again, this is a trend I've been seeing, is that it kind of outscores even the Note 4, which is interesting. And then when we go to the Antutu benchmark test, I did test this 3 times, actually, 2 times and then another one after restarting and kind of seeing if that made a change. And on the restarting one, it did land at 46,486, which is, again, a very impressive score. In comparison, again, compared to the HTC One MT or the Eximino MI, it really just does a very good job in terms of multitasking, in terms of CPU, in terms of everything overall, especially graphics. So this graphics is really what's making it be definitely on top. Again, this device did run higher than most. Now, it does have a top 20, which are all of, tweaked Android devices. but for it being out of the box at this level, above the S5, above the Note 3, and again, I believe the Note 4 went a little bit below this. I think it was around 45 on a continuous basis when I was testing it. I would have to check a look at my benchmark test on that one. But again, it did a really good job, very impressive on all of these. Again, with having no root access, it really was just, just right on point. So that was the benchmark test for the Galaxy Note Edge. What did you think about it? Did you expect these results, or did you expect less or better than the Note 4? Please leave your comments in the comment section down below and give a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.